Hi there, my name is Kaitlyn Hawken. I'm a pre-service high school teacher in the teaching fields of history and visual arts. As a teacher, I can find myself with one thing always on my mind, and that is lesson plans and how I can turn the syllabus and curriculum into interesting and impactful learning experiences for the students. Today, we're going to talk about how ICT can be the answer to this question. I'm going to share with you some of the ways I implement my ICT tools within the history classroom, as well as a little bit in the art classroom by the end. Alrighty, so strategies we can use in the history classroom. So the first one is PowerPoint, but we're going to step that straight up to use Google Sites. I find that in the history classroom, the visual aid with technology is just absolutely necessary because we have such a content dense subject. We're always looking at sources, we're always looking at information, and students need to keep up with what we're doing. And I find that using graphs that Google Sites allows to make really helps with that. I always make at the start of the lesson, I have it throughout, is the trajectory of our learning. You can see there in the orange is what we've learnt so far within the unit, and the blue is what we've got to go. I've got a zoomed in one that we go to next, which is the orange is what we're doing in the day today, and then blue is the week. I just find that, we just really have to use those visual aids within the history classroom particularly. One way to step up the PowerPoint though is to use this app on your phone and PC, which is a Power Mirror. I'm actually using it now, and it just enables you to control your slides or your Google slide from your phone while you walk around the classroom. Instead of being stuck to your desk controlling the slideshow, this technology just allows us to actually move around the classroom, which is what we want to be doing. Another way that I like to just enhance what we're doing is using QR codes. I found that it's very helpful with needing to quickly access sources for the students. When we're looking at information or even learning activities as well as assessments. If I need them to be looking at something right now, I'll put the QR code up in my slides, and they can use their phones just to scan it, and it will give them the information right in their phone. So I've been in lots of schools where phones are actually allowed in class, and that's all good. And I've just found one learning activity in particular. I was looking at a source which was a magazine back in the 1980s or something, and it was a published archive magazine. And instead of printing out the archive magazine that everyone can go through, I just put up the QR code, and then the students were able to flick through their phone as if they were reading, a Reddit post or something, which I thought was really good for the students, and they were able to actually engage further with the instrument of technology that they're already very familiar with. So that QR code there actually takes you to the website where you can make custom QR codes. And this next QR code takes us to our next technology, which is virtual sites. I found this to be very helpful with excursion type things. So we're going to go to one now, which is my favourite one, Sea Yark. Here we have, we've gone into Pompeii. And they've got a lot of different things there that they're giving us. This 3D Explorer, which is the main technology that we're looking at. We're actually given a remake, a model of the historical site, which is just awesome. This is Pompeii under the ash. So you can use a number of controls, just like the students would be very familiar with anyway, to explore all around the site. And it gives information that they can read. I just find that this is a very good technology when I've got specific sites, which is at least once or twice a week that we're looking at specific sites. Instead of just going through a PowerPoint and looking at a couple pictures, the students, even if it takes 5 minutes or 10 minutes just to look through it themselves, engages them in a deeper sense of learning. One kind of assessment task that you could use with this technology is to get them to do a virtual tour. You might have them pick a pre-proposed site, and then they have to research about it and then explain to the class whilst they go through their site what was particular about the different spots and what actually happened there. going back to our other strategies, we have podcasts. In particular, Spotify is very helpful in the classroom. You can use it as just to communicate information. There's lots of different historical podcasts. It's a good way to switch up the learning styles with auditory things and doing a calm activity. I also find that it's very useful with assessments and learning activities. If you want to task the students with making a podcast, you can get them working in groups and they have to do one part of the information and to create one episode. And then they could upload it to a group Spotify account and listen back to it in their own time and listen to their friends' podcasts. That way they're sharing the learning, the jigsaw method, and the learning is put in the students' hands. It's student-centered learning. So we can see with those activities that the students are actually engaging in creating, communicating, and investigating their history knowledge through ICT, which is what we're going for. Talking more about the general capabilities, we see that personal and social capability is actually really fostered when we use ICT in the classroom as group work. There's actually a study done by Swedish Education, which is they concluded that the introduction of ICT in the Swedish compulsory schooling correlated to great pupil activity and responsibility, which is exactly what we were looking at with the social capability, as well as creative and critical thinking. When the students are engaging in a new technology, they're finding a whole new way to engage with the material, inquiring, analysing, generating new ideas, as we can see there. I'd love to share with you one more technology, which is in art really quick. I'll show you a video of a technology that we've used in art once we've created a body of works, is a virtual gallery, which is a way to communicate their art to a broader audience, including their friends, family, and the public.
Exhibitions is the perfect way to host your 3D online show. Visitors can navigate the space and interact with your art in real time. They can try the pieces with augmented reality technology, inquire about the artworks, or even buy from within the exhibition.
We as well should be encouraged that students, ICT and technology is a language that students are very fluent in, and anytime that we have a new thing to try, we should be brave to try anything new in the classroom, because the students that we have their 21st century learning is so connected to technology. They're the generation that was brought up with it. So we shouldn't be afraid to try anything new in our classroom.